Hi, everyone. Thanks for being at the Winter Innovation Summit, and thanks for taking a few minutes to learn about program-related investments and what they can do for your foundation. Today, I'd like to start off by defining what a program-related investment is. A program-related investment is an investment that you make that counts against your 5% distribution as a foundation, so long as it meets three main tests. The first is the company's main mission must coincide with the mission of your foundation. The second is that no portion may be used for lobbying. And the third piece that's a little bit harder to get your head around is profit can't be the primary motive of making that investment. Now, primary can take on a lot of different definitions. And let's go into real life examples of what that might look at by talking about types of investments you can make in general. So on one side, you have traditional investments where there is zero regard for the social benefit of what it is and only thinking about the financial benefit you might receive from it. On the other side is a social benefit that you perceive that is happening from your donation, but you're not quite sure what that is. With impact investing in the middle of that, wanting both to understand the social impact and the financial impact, a program-related investment can fall anywhere from the far left of that circle with a market rate return, with also having a lot of impact, to kind of somewhere in what's called venture philanthropy, where it's probably at least a concessionary investment, if not a straight grant, but having clearly defined impact terms that the nonprofit or other entity is going to live up to. Program-related investments can be anywhere in this spectrum of investments and still qualify under the, profit is not the primary motive for purposes of the IRS. You have to be careful about how you do it, but it can fall anywhere in there. So why would you make a program-related investment? Again, even though profit cannot be the primary motive, over time, if this is a consistent part of your foundation's giving strategy, it actually could increase the size of your endowment. This is on the bottom, a line showing what a traditional investment of 8% with, some sort of a giving and then 1% inflation looks like. It goes up and to the right over time pretty steadily, and that's great. If you throw in a program-related investment strategy on top of that, even with that, having a 20% negative return, it still increases the size of your foundation's corpus by almost 20% over 20 years. So it has a way of increasing the amount you give every year, increasing your overall giving, and that was why the IRS allows them in the first place. The other thing to think about with PRIs is typically you're de-risking investments on the front side of something. So you're early on, you're taking more risk or willing to take a longer return before you do something. And if that company can get that to work, they're then using the standard financial capital markets to be able to grow and can greatly increase their impact versus traditional philanthropic dollars. The third benefit that it has is by using some portion of the capital markets to solve social problems, it frees up philanthropic dollars to be able to attack those problems that capitalism's never going to be able to solve. And so for these three reasons, we really like program-related investments. Now, what are some of the things you need to think about when thinking about PRIs as a foundation? How much risk are you willing to take on? How do you define impact? How much impact do you want to have? What's the return you'd like to see? How are you going to diligence the investments? How are you going to manage the portfolio? Can you do those? Do you need it to be outsourced? All super important to think about. Again, I think foundations should really think about this as one of their strategies for all the reasons I mentioned before, even though these are hard questions to ask. There are advisors out there to help. Sorenson Impact's obviously one of those, but there are others. And so I urge every foundation to at least think about a PRI strategy. I'd like to spend a minute on how we at Sorenson Impact actually work with our PRI strategies. We are a student-centric center, and that's why we're at a university. At any point in time, my team has anywhere from 15 to 30 students and 4 professionals that are diligencing program-related investments for foundations. We help think about what's the impact, how does it fit with the foundation's mission, what's the financial return possibilities, all of those things for them, and then present it to them for whether they want to make an impact or an investment or not. And the reason why we use students to do this is not just because it's a unique experience, but we want to train the future impact leaders to be able to go forward and be able to do impact in the world in general. We'd like to introduce you to two of those right now, Kevin and Charlotte, to talk about their experience at the center. We'll start with Kevin.
My name is Kevin Huang. I'm a senior associate on the impact investing team at Sorenson Impact Center and a neuroscience PhD at the University. I joined Sorenson Impact about 3 years ago while I was doing my PhD studies in neuroscience, and it's been an amazing and unique experience. The Sorenson Impact Center took me out of the lab and taught me skills that have allowed me to broaden my career after getting my PhD. And what I've loved best about my work with the center is seeing the way that our capital touches the lives of thousands of people's portfolio and materially makes the world a better place.
Hi, my name is Charlotte Magee, and I'm a senior associate on the impact investing team at the Sorenson Impact Center and a PhD candidate in neuroscience. I joined the Sorenson Impact Center about a year and a half ago, and I was immediately struck by how we as students got to speak directly to entrepreneurs. It was fascinating to see the ways in which an investment would not only help scale the company, but help scale the company's impact. On a personal level, for my career development, one thing that's been absolutely critical has been the development of project management skills. On the impact investing team, I get to bring together a team to conduct research on companies, on markets, on products and customers, and then lead the team all the way through client deliverable development and ultimately presentation and recommendations. And with that, I'll pass it over to Jeramy.
Thanks, Charlotte. And thank you all for being here today to learn a little bit more about program-related investments. If you'd like to learn more, please reach out to somebody at the center or feel free to reach out to your own advisors. Thank you all and have a nice day.